Hello and welcome. Today, your three favorite sweaty dudes are talking two sauces: French fry dipping sauce and Ray's secret horseradish sauce. We have hot tots and hot takes. We're really excited you came here to join us today and hope you stick around. Welcome to Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are three very sweaty dudes right now in the 95-degree heat in Pennsylvania, of all places.
It rained today, though. That's new.
It did rain today, which is
just added to the humidity level, really.
added to the humidity.
That's right.
Well, they said there was like some kind of like a heat index of like 100 or something like that.
We were on the orange air quality
I'm
scale
not really
today.
sure what that was. That for allergens or what?
I think so, yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
pollutants.
But there was a heat index as well,
Well,
advisory.
This heat index thing, I think that's kind of a total load of shit because it's either a certain amount of it's either hot or it's not. You know, like temperature was good enough. We didn't need to add the heat index. I'm taking a strong stance on this today.
The heat index, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how it feels to you, like on a physical.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like in
Like
the
the
winter,
wind chill
they-
factor.
Yeah, they put in the wind chill, which again, I don't really buy off on that because
So
no
the
one's
heat
sitting
index,
outside without a jacket in the winter. You know,
the heat index is really based on how well you can
this is a podcast about heat indexes, by the way.
how well you can
It's a
sweat,
meteorological.
how well you can perspire and actually cool your body down, which you can't perspire
Oh, I see
when
what
the
you're
humidity level is so
Right,
high. So the
because you
heat
can't
index gets a lot
evaporate.
higher because you can't evaporate and cool your body
I
down.
see, and that's
why it's dangerous.
That's why you are covered in an even sheen of sweat right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, E, how are you doing this week, E? You're in a tank top.
Yeah,
Been sweaty
it's-
as fuck.
It's been a hot week.
You look like Carl Bertonalonalewski from Aqua Teen.
Who? Oh yeah.
The next door neighbor.
'Cause
He got the white beater
See,
and
that's
the
better
thong
because-
sandals.
that's better because he's probably never seen that, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, the bald
now.
guy with the mustache.
Yeah, that's perfect.
If it's coming from Aquatine, I know it's not a compliment.
No, it's not. A compliment.
It's a good program.
It's a good program. Yeah, don't.
There's no compliments coming out of that program.
The show
You're being
is good.
compared real life to that program.
well, the show is good.
It's a striking
The comparison
resemblance.
is.
The chest hair is even out.
The chest hair is out.
I think he is paler though.
This is TG every Saturday, and
No,
I
no,
just
but
thought
TG
it was
is
my
not-
time. It's my house. It's my time to
No, no.
fucking
Your time to
kick back.
shine.
Yeah,
Kick
your
back and
shirt's
relax.
your shirt's on. Usually his shirt is off. So
I go au naturel a lot of times.
But anyways, this is actually a podcast about sauces. We're three white dudes that love creamy mayonnaise based sauces.
On potato products. or-
Potato products.
I mean,
In this episode particularly, but
You
Yeah.
might say it's our passion.
generally speaking.
TG
we
is-
like our hot sauces and we like our vinegars. and
Tori's actually a world renowned chef. 3 Michelin
Wow. Stars. Stars, that's what they're called.
stars.
Stars, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know if you earned a star yet, but E, what brings you to this table here?
I'm big on flavor. It all comes down to my favorite foods are always Mexican and Chinese and Korean, and I actually found out today that they make a green onion Chex in Korea.
I thought they made something like that here. They don't make a green onion one?
They might sell it here in the U.S., but I mean they tried it, but
Well, actually, I think green onion's a pretty mild flavor. Like, I don't think that's anything super
You want to have
crazy.
that for breakfast?
Yeah, no thank you. Absolutely not.
It's pretty wild. I know your girlfriend would love it.
My girlfriend would go nuts for that. Onions are her favorite food.
Yes.
Yeah, she would be. That would be all she would make. She would put milk with it. So today for our choice of sauces, we have Sweet Baby Ray's Secret Sauce, and then the Great Value French Fry Dipping Sauce. A little more festively decorated on the Sweet Baby Ray's than
On tater tots, by the way.
Great Value is their famously Spartan packaging. What'd you think there, E?
Well, I mean, I think we have two very pale orange, slightly interesting looking sauces.
That is key to know. We wanted to choose two that were kind of similar to kind of compare and contrast, and not necessarily to choose which one was better, but we did for this choose two kind of palish orange. The Great Value is definitely darker. Here, I'll pass one of these over to you, TG, so we can kind of.
I really thought that this was going to be along the lines of a Thousand Island dressing. It certainly has that orangey.
They both definitely have the appearance more of a Thousand Island type dressing.
It seems pretty far from it, I think, personally.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah, maybe in terms of texture, maybe
Well, I
you
feel
can draw
like
some parallels. but,
Thousand Island has more of almost a sweetness to it, right? Isn't that
sure.
from the Okay. Neither one of them really had any kind of notes of sweetness whatsoever.
no.
I think the Great Value
Maybe
French fry has a little bit of a sweetness on the front.
maybe
end.
initially. I definitely think that the Ray's secret sauce was more of a flat flavor. The French fry sauce, the chemical experts at Walmart, the famous Walmart food
Walmart
laboratory, the famous Walmart food laboratory have clearly put together quite a chemical composition in a squeezable bottle.
It packs a lot of flavor in there, I have to say. I think that was...
Well, no, I guess that's kind of what I was getting at there, was that the French fry sauce has a couple different layers of flavor to it, whereas the Sweet Baby Ray's secret sauce is kind of more of a...
It's a one-trick pony, really.
Yeah, you get a lot
Disagree. I entirely disagree.
You get a lot initially of the, like, horseradish. I don't know, I guess mayo, but it's almost kind of like you're getting some other flavor. I think this is most comparable, and we might get in some legal rights for bringing in specific trademarks, but I think this is...
Just vaguely describe the emblem on the highway.
Well,
or
let's
what you would
say that there was some sort of royalty of like a burger monarch.
of a particular region that specializes in burgers.
I don't know where you're going with
No,
this.
he's going way bigger. He's going...
Are we talking about the same place? I'm talking about Burger King. Let's just get that straight up. Okay.
Yeah. I was kidding.
Yeah, okay. So I'm talking about Burger King zesty sauce.
We're
I
all
would
talking
definitely...
about the same thing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the Big Mac
The
sauce.
Big Mac.
Yeah.
Big Mac
Well, I don't
sauce.
think any of them... I think that's more of an analog to straight up Thousand Island, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would say without having any here. We didn't scrape any burgers clean to taste this, unfortunately, today.
No.
So
Would have been nice though.
for next week.
Would have been very nice.
No, I definitely think the Sweet Baby Ray's, I would say most similar to the Zesties, or perchance an Outback.
Oh, the bloomin'
With
onion.
the
Bloomin'
onions.
onion sauce.
It is.
It's
It is.
more comparable to that because it's got kind of that horseradish kick and it's that pale orange color.
I'm a sucker for horseradish, 100%.
Oh, absolutely, me as well.
I like it, but it's not my favorite flavor in the world.
But I think that the French fry sauce was more of what you would say like a Red Robin campfire mayo, which is one of our classic favorites there.
I mean, when I think French fries, a flavor that I don't necessarily think of heat. I don't equate French fries and heat in the same arena. So I think it's a bold of great value, and the great chemists at great value. To
I want to say that I believe the sauce was $1.97. I could be wrong, but it was a great value at that cost.
man
Wow.
spending the big bucks.
Anyways,
But anyways, yeah. I mean, I think it's a bold move for them to put a spicy sauce and slap the words French fries on it, because that's not something that I would equate. I mean, I'm a ranch guy. I like ranch on French fries. I'm not a real big ketchup fan, but heat and French fries is not something that I would put in the same boat.
all right, that's
I
fair.
don't know. I find that, I mean,
There are places that make a buffalo blue fry, which I am very much a fan of.
right, what do you think of curly fries from Arby's?
I mean, well-
I don't think those are spicy though. Those are spicy for like
Yet again, dude,
Again, they're
real-
spicy for a fry. That's just it. I mean,
they're spicy for a fry.
spicy
but
for
I'm going
Americans.
horseradish. I'm going horsey.
which also has its own level of
Yeah.
spice too.
Well, yeah,
For a
but
French-
that's
I mean, if you're just talking, the whole idea is a French fry is
that's
a
an
very
interesting thing we just hit
base.
on there, because this is another tangent I'll go off on. Was that as in English we don't have two separate words for spice when it refers to horseradish, which is very different than
Pepper.
than a cayenne or even a
I
black
just got
pepper.
a black pepper. Yeah, there's red chili flakes for sure. I definitely just got a chomp of black pepper that was hanging around there for a little while.
Oh, you got-
Chipotle, yep, cracked back black pepper. You're right. Yep.
Black pepper. Okay, I didn't get the black pepper as much, but we did say that the
That's interesting.
we did say what?
It has lemon juice in it too.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a complex flavor is all that I'm saying. So
Well, that's what we were kind of getting at there, is that there's kind of like layers to the flavor. Like you said, almost initially there's almost a sweetness to it. I mean, I think that's coming primarily from whatever mayo substitute they've concocted.
It stays good at room temperature for extended periods of time.
Right, indefinitely, I think, yeah.
yeah, I think that's your main ingredient on both of these, which is
Right, I don't think
considered
there's any-
soybean oil or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think there's any ingredient. We should read the ingredients in their full.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, we should not.
Yeah.
Please regale us in your driest of voice.
Yes, as monotonous as possible. Channel Ben Stein.
He had a fun fact earlier, which is that the ingredients are listed in order of their volume of presence in the sauce.
Yes, in case there's any listeners out there that are under, the age of 10.
If you're
Whose
curious
whose
about how much
mommies haven't told
soybean
them.
oil.
Whose mommies didn't say, you
I-
can't pick the cereal that number one ingredient is sugar.
I always thought when I was growing up with that very idea in mind, like, oh shit, I can make this on the stovetop. I just need a ton of soybean oil, a little bit less water, a little bit less of this,
It's
a little
funny
bit
that
less
you
of
should
that.
mention that because I had a similar thought. People would always talk about, like KFC or the secret Coke formula, and I was like, it's on the can. Like, how dumb can you guys be? Like, they tell you what it is. This is some kind of scam. It's high fructose corn syrup. No, like we were kind of getting at earlier there, you were saying the fry sauce has layers to it, whereas the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce, almost like whatever the flavor version of a monotone is.
I disagree, man. I can't disagree with you
No,
more.
I'm not saying I don't like it because I do like
So
it.
what flavors do you taste when you're...
I get some creaminess. That's really, really
Well,
nice.
there's definitely creaminess.
And I like that. I'm a sucker
actually
for
think
horseradish.
on the
I can't help
whole,
myself.
the Sweet
So-
Baby Ray's was like creamier and smoothier. Smoothier is a word, I think, right?
Close enough.
Sure.
It's smoothier.
good.
It's smoothier. That's a new official.
The American Lexicon
we've
podcast
added
is
that to
coming
the
up next week.
dictionary.
Yeah.
I think that the French fry sauce that has more interesting flavors, and there are definitely more layers of flavors there, but they're a little bit like clubbing you in the head with it. I think there's not a whole lot of subtlety to it either.
It's very overt. Yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, they're there, and they're not all there at once, but they're very like I got almost more of a chemically taste out of it too. That's probably just my imagination.
That may be a function if you're paying under $2 for it.
Right. Well, I think the Sweet Baby Ray's was maybe $1.
That's
more
very
to be
reasonably priced.
perfectly
Yeah, I
fair,
think
yeah.
that brand is pretty reasonable.
But I got them both from Walmart, anyways. But no, you were saying a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of sweetness, and then I got a lot of smokiness.
Smoky and spice.
Well, I think I got the smokiness, like I got creaminess first, and then I got hit hard with the smokiness and like kind of a peppery
Right?
flavor.
Pepper is definitely a spice.
Yeah.
people- the aftertaste, I think, actually, we maybe pick up those little bit like lemon undertones and vinegary.
Yeah, and then it kind of finishes with a heat. So you get a little bit of like a black pepper taste initially.
No question.
With
Big
the
time black
smokiness,
pepper.
but then it kind of finishes off almost more with a cayenne kind of finish, I think.
And for me, personally, my palate, when it comes to horseradish, it's such an overpowering and almost burning, pungent taste and flavor that's what lingered for me on the Sweet Baby Ray's. It was horseradish through and through, beginning to end. Yeah, there's a little bit of creaminess at the beginning. At the end of it, it's hot. It's horseradish. I mean, horseradish is a great flavor. I just wish it wasn't so prominent. I like it mixed in with things, and I like the subtlety. I like things that change and have complexity to them. I just think that the French fry sauce was a real surprise.
I think he's calling us simpletons.
I think he's calling us simpletons too. He's saying we're just suckers for the cream.
Maybe I just have a more refined palate.
The cream.
Whoa.
Fighting words on a
Fighting
food
words.
tasting podcast here.
I actually would disagree. I think that if Tori and I preferred the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce, I think that's speaking to we have maybe a palate that's more capable of appreciating subtlety,
There you go.
which I think, if anything,
Yeah.
that would be a quality of a refined palate.
No question. I mean,
Rather
you already
than being-
established that I'm some type of chef or something.
Yeah, you're a Michelin-starred chef. We've
That's right.
established. Yes,
3-star.
3-star.
Three of them.
And
In
you
a
on
row.
how many restaurants are you up to now, Tori?
Oh, goodness gracious.
You can't
None of
count
this is
them.
real, by
You
the way.
can't. No, don't tell them that. I think the French fry sauce, kind of almost like
It's not bad. I just think they sort of missed the mark on calling it French fry sauce.
I do
That's
think
not
it's
something I would put on
really-
French fries.
Well, what would you put it on? Is there something that you would put it on?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think about it.
Chicken,
Maybe
chicken nuggets.
chicken nuggets would be
Sure.
good.
I
Yeah.
could definitely get down on that on some chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's a bold sauce. I'm not going to disagree with you
We
there.
should talk about this. So we're trying to evaluate sauces kind of on their own merits, and we're trying not to get something that has a lot of flavor to begin with to taste it on. For these two things, we went with tater tots. Some of their pictures here they have on their onion rings, which makes sense.
Oh,
We
that'd be really good.
discussed that.
that would be delicious.
There's a roast beef sandwich, which
That would be amazing.
That would also be very good.
yeah, with horseradish sounds hella good. And then there's some tomatoes and some lettuce in the background as well.
Maybe for like a little salad action.
I actually thought about maybe bringing out a bag of carrots.
Well, actually, now that I look
Not
on
a
the
bad
back,
thought.
now that I look on the
try
back,
this.
there are in fact fries on here. Now,
Oh, I would be far more inclined to use the Sweet Baby Ray's if I had a good plate of fries. If I had a big old plate of
all right,
fries.
I could see that.
Like, you think fries are that much different than a tater tot?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, if
Okay.
the plate of fries, if we're there, I would
In the future,
go
we
for Ray.
may
over
chose.
the French fry.
No
dipping
question.
sauce.
I'd haul at my boy Ray.
Now, do you think it would have been better for us to do it on something like a vegetable and maybe a saltine or something?
I don't know. Saltines suck.
Yeah, they do.
They are
Pretty
so
bad.
bad.
They are like the closest to just dipping your fingers in the sauce.
Yeah, which I'm not opposed to either.
Well,
to be
I
fair,
don't want to
Yeah,
get my
me
fingers
neither.
with your fingers, and that's all I'm saying.
finger to finger.
With your greasiness.
This is
Yeah.
2020.
Are there serving suggestions on that? On the fry sauce there?
Until your heart's content.
Eric? Did we actually say Eric's name at some point?
No, it was always just E.
I say we
He's
don't think
calling
we
them all
actually.
these silly ass nicknames.
Eric and Tori and Adam are actual names, but we
Yeah.
just call him piece of shit. E.
No, he's E.
So the
And
French
he's a
fry
good fella.
serving size is 2 tablespoons and comes in at 100.
2 mouthfuls.
Yeah, right. Who the hell uses that little? Are you kidding me?
No American has ever. That's why we're so fat, because
Yeah.
the sauces don't count for calories. That's
I mean, we barely had 15 tater tots between
barely
3
had-
mammoths, and
after.
we used 4 times.
now, I don't know
as much.
about you guys. I already ate a substantial dinner.
Yeah, so did
I ate far much more of a dinner than I should have. We are stout-looking men
Yeah.
to begin with. We're not. We're robust.
Yeah, robust. I think that is a very adequate
We
description.
are thick men to begin with. Just the kind of people you want to hear about sauces
Oh,
from.
right, yeah. The fat, greasy guys.
You don't want to hear
Yeah.
about any thin boys in their sauces. So there were. You said no on serving suggestions on there. There's
2
nothing on the
tablespoons,
front?
right?
tablespoons. Yeah.
Well, no, suggestions, not size.
Well, you're looking for
What's on the
suggestions
front?
of
Is there a
what-
picture of something
what
on the
to
front?
Go with. Well, it just
It's called French fry sauce for a reason.
Yeah,
You
but-
can just pretty much use your
Well,
imagination.
I don't know. Maybe they put something else on there.
there's a hamburger on the cover, but
Okay, well, there's a hamburger.
I wouldn't put that on a hamburger either.
I don't think I would put on a hamburger. Surprisingly, I have to admit, I think a French fry. I think it gives a French fry a lot more flavor because you take something that doesn't have a lot of flavor and makes it something. It really elevates it for me. I think.
Elevates it.
It does.
And you take all the salt off your fries too, right? You scrape all
Hell
the salt
no.
off first.
I'm a salt fiend.
Did you take your
Fiend.
water pill today, by the way? Speaking of which.
I have not.
Okay.
Did you take your enemas today yet? Now, neither one of these sauces contain cheese. E's mortal enemy.
It's a frenemy, I believe.
Ah,
The
yes.
milk.
I know one of them said contains milk and eggs.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
actually,
At the very
fry
end.
sauce
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're gonna be paying for that later.
I wonder what kind of chemists are over at Big Ray's. If my man Ray's cracking the whip in
One
the,
of my
in the
buddies,
chem lab.
one of my buddies used to work at a Heinz in a like a research and development facility.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he was telling me about like the vats of ketchup they would mix up, but they literally just have to shovel it in with a shovel, like tomato paste
Wow.
in to make this ketchup.
Do you remember in the early 2000s when they had purple ketchup and these giant
yeah,
ass
and green.
colors?
I do.
And
And
green.
green.
Yeah,
And
they had
green.
these kooky colors.
Absolutely.
It was a wasteland, a lawless wasteland those days.
Well, yes.
I honestly don't. I also can say I never tried the purple or the green ketchup.
Really?
I never. No, I remember seeing them. I never tried them.
Well,
Zero
now-
difference. You
now
couldn't
how,
tell the difference.
How old were you guys in that time period? Because you guys are a little older than me.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, I think I was in high school. I think I was like maybe a freshman.
Yeah.
See, I was like in more
thinking
like a
forever.
middle school kind of thing. So to me, I hadn't kind of gotten like, and I was a thick little kid.
You were too
I was
cool for that.
I was a tubby little kid. No, I would eat anything was my point. So
Oh.
I don't care. I would slam any kind of, and especially ketchup, any form of ketchup that was put in front of me, I would slam on it
So you just never had the opportunity then.
to lose weight.
You have the opportunity, you just neglect to take it.
No, my parents absolutely bought me that. I think both the purple and the green. Maybe not the purple. I know we definitely had the green multiple times. It wasn't a one-time deal either. It was several times we had that.
Did it taste like maybe like an unripened tomato? Did it have any of that kind
No,
of like?
there was no flavor difference.
Wow.
It was mainly food coloring. There was no actual flavor difference.
That's a shame. I don't know.
So
It's peculiar.
I mean,
What do you think purple ketchup would taste like?
when I was a kid, and still to this day, honestly, I have no problems putting ketchup on my mashed potatoes.
That's gross.
And they turn into a red mashed potato
Uh,
paste, and everybody around me says how foul
That's
it
gross,
is.
dude.
yeah, that's
That's
disgusting.
horrible.
It's delicious, but
It's vile.
so I wonder if I had green or purple. Would that be any better?
Probably not.
Purple
Probably
mashed
not.
potatoes?
Purple
Are you
mashed
asking
potatoes.
if purple mashed potatoes would be better or green?
You know, because there are red skinned potatoes, which are kind of like close to purple anyway. So
That's a stretch.
you might think, okay, it's a stretch.
That's a big time stretch.
I think we established that these things are not exactly designed, it doesn't seem like, for the same purpose. I mean,
think that's
the
fair.
fry,
Yeah, I'd say
call
it's
something
fair.
a fry sauce seems like you're intentionally kind of limiting its uses, whereas Sweet Baby Ray's, from what I can remember their other sauces, it seems like they try to reach kind of a broader appeal with the stuff.
Just maybe a smart marketing scheme.
Right.
Definitely.
And I think ultimately when people think of quality, I think people think of Sweet Baby Ray's, maybe not so much of the Great Value brand. No, I think that probably in general, the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce is better on things other than fries. And to be clear, like I said, it doesn't seem to suggest that as one of their top recommended uses.
Yeah, onion rings makes a lot of sense.
Onion
that
rings,
would be
I think
delicious.
onion rings would be key. I
Absolutely.
don't think onion rings would go nearly as well with the fry sauce.
No.
I think they'd be okay.
They'd be
They got
okay,
a smokiness, I think would be okay, but I think horseradish is a necessity if you're talking onion rings.
Yeah. Roast beef also.
Roast beef, key.
Yeah. Roast beef. Would be,
So I think if you want to talk about whether these sauces are
you know that,
achieving their purpose,
but you
know,
guys are almost confirming my initial assessment. So you're taking something that's a subtle,
confirming initial assessment.
subtle flavor, but also a strong flavor. You're taking the one-trick pony of horseradish,
Okay.
and you're pairing it with a strong flavor like onion or a strong flavor like roast beef. Now I'm saying that French fry sauce here is excellent for French fries because you're
That
taking
junk
something
is never getting close to my roast beef, just to be fair.
right.
Yeah.
No,
I would
exactly.
not put that
I
on
wouldn't
roast
put this
beef.
on
Never.
roast beef either because it's too strong of a flavor to compete with this strong flavor. You want to take something that's more neutral like a French fry and have strong flavors with it
So maybe I was mistaken to compare and contrast these two particular. I was going based
on
almost
color.
entirely on their color, yeah.
Aesthetics.
But I was trying to kind of get around to that. I kind of want to decide on these, like rating these based on how well they're achieving their purpose. So maybe in this particular instance, they're not. Maybe we did the Sweet Baby Ray's a disservice by trying it on the tots as opposed to.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have tried that on like a roast beef or an onion ring, even maybe. But I think as far as achieving their purpose, the fry sauce, I think it hits it out of the park for fries. But I think that if you evaluated the Sweet Baby Ray's on an onion ring or especially on a roast beef, I think it would knock it out of the park.
No
So
question.
in general, though, I think that to that end, I have to give the advantage to the Sweet Baby Ray's because it has more purposes. So it can kind of hit more of those. Like if you want more of a general purpose sauce, I think you're better off going that way.
I can understand where you're coming from with that. I can see your line of thinking of a broader sauce.
And kind of like you're saying with the curly fries, I don't really see that as a necessity for the curly fries. They've already got enough kind of flavoring on their own.
They do.
The French fry sauce might be good on eggs. Maybe a nice scrambled egg.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know about that. Maybe the smoky. Maybe I could see that.
The heat.
Smoky,
Heat and
little
smokiness, I
spice.
could see that. So
I wonder what happens when TG has to suffer through us when we start trying real hot sauces.
we do have to do a
Get the
heat
ranch.
index.
We should.
How much you sweat.
I'm already sweating
We'll
here.
wrap you in one of those styrofoam suits, like the It Works thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Stop.
Those things. They have these things that are called. I think that's part of the It Works. But the idea was that you wrap yourself in like this saran wrap stuff, and then you go out and sweat.
Like a sauna suit?
I don't know about that, but the idea was that it was supposed to give you like spot temporary weight loss. Like you wrapped it around your stomach and it made you look thinner, but all it was really doing was just making you shed water weight, and you
Sure.
bought this special product that was this wrap, but really it's just saran wrap. You guys never heard of this?
No.
Yeah, it's
Creepy.
weird stuff. I saw someone doing it the other day on a bicycle ride. I saw some girl out in a public place wrapped up in saran wrap, and I'm sure that's what she was doing. But
I
yeah.
certainly hope so.
Sounds
for her sake.
dangerous,
Yeah,
honestly.
right.
Oh yeah, it's terrible for you. It's not a good idea by any means.
And I wrestled in high school, and I would
Yeah,
throw on
Equally stupid.
8 layers, equally stupid, exactly 8 layers of clothes, and go running around a gym that was heated for the summer or for the winter months. And it was the whole goal was just to sweat through all 8 layers of clothing and lose all that water weight.
So going back to kind of like what we were talking about, I kind of want to get around to the point where we kind of rate these. It doesn't have to be a competitive thing, we don't have to say
not a head-to-head deal.
say one's a winner. I was thinking maybe for metrics, kind of as like how well did it achieve its purpose. Let's talk about the fry sauce now. you're obviously a pretty big fan of this fry sauce. What would you say? Let's do like a 1 to 10 scale. Let's say for its purpose of fries, 1 to 10, that sauce versus other sauces, how well does it achieve its purpose?
I'd give it an 8.5. It surprised me. It was
Now,
very good.
Do you envision? Can you give me an envisionment of a 10, maybe? Do you think ketchup
I
would
think-
fall above or below that?
Below.
Okay.
No question.
This is
Yeah.
this is better than Heinz ketchup.
This is
To be clear, we live in Pittsburgh.
this
so
is more
this
exciting.
is quite
of
the
a sauce.
sacrilege.
It is what I'm not initially from Pittsburgh, to be clear, but yeah. I'd say maybe I'd say I'm looking at Heinz ketchup is like a solid 5. It's like your most like
That's neutral.
it's
That's
neutral.
average.
That's like
All
okay.
right,
You want to take a
that's
French fry and
fair.
you want to make it,
I still think it's phenomenal, but that's
tastier.
okay. That's fair.
and then if I'm calling this an 8.5, say what would a 10 be? Maybe like I know what 10 would be. There was a wonderful restaurant that served. I think it's called Putang, right?
Poutine.
Poutine?
I think
Poutine.
poutine is a totally. I only know a restaurant. You're good.
What truck stop did you go to?
They served it to me.
Like, right in your
They pulled
car.
up on a. She pulled up in a semi truck and just kicked the door open and served me some poutine.
Poutang with gravy.
Gravy.
Oh,
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
There
So
you
yeah,
That
go.
is not a sauce we'll be reviewing on
There.
our podcast. Not be poutine gravy.
Rated M for mature.
Jesus Christ.
Anywho, your
I think it's
poutine.
Poutine, yeah.
That's that. What's that? Like a North Miss Midwestern?
It's Canadian. It's
Yeah.
a Canadian thing. So basically, it's like pretty sure it's gravy on fries with
Cheese curds.
cheese
yeah,
curds,
cheese curds.
and then they had sautéed mushrooms, the portobellos,
All right.
and I think they even had like some chopped up like grilled marinated chicken in there with them. So it was like like
Wow.
a meal.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it was delicious, and that's taking the fry. Now this was, to be clear, this was a build your own French fry place. So they had a list of meats and vegetables and sauces that you could add to your French fries. So that was a concoction that myself and my sister came up with, and that was a 10.
And that would be
Right.
your 10.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
That was phenomenal. It was very savory. There wasn't a whole lot of spice going
Certainly
on,
sounds like it.
but with the gravy and the marinated meats and the mushroom, and yeah, it was excellent.
And the poutine
Yes. On the side.
on the side. So, TG,
Yes.
what do you think about this fry sauce? Give me a rating like 1 to 10.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of heat for heat's sake.
Right.
I do like peppery stuff. I mean, not to say it was overwhelming hot. It was comfortable to eat. It wouldn't
I think
be.
it has mass appeal. I think it. I
think
think
it
it'd
certainly
be too
does
hot.
have mass appeal.
I think 80% of the population would not say it's too spicy.
No question about it. I certainly don't hate it. It wouldn't be my first choice, and I think they missed the mark when they slapped the words French fry on it. I wouldn't put that together.
Now, so what are you calling this 1 to 10 now?
Man, so with all that being said, and I agree.
Apparently, we're calling Heinz ketchup a 5.
Yeah, and I think that's a really fair assumption.
I think
Is
that's
that-
pretty fair too.
yeah,
Okay.
I
It's
do.
at least a standard, I guess.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. Yeah.
I do think that I would definitely prefer the campfire mayo over
Over that.
ketchup, or over that even.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so too. Yeah, ketchup would probably be my last condiment that I
Oh.
would reach for if I had a plate of fries.
You'd go for mustard.
to
and
be very
relish.
honest with you, I like extra salt.
Okay.
You know, throw some salt on there.
You like vanilla ice cream on there too?
Why not? Sure, some bacon. But yeah, I mean, so with all that being said, the Heinz ketchup being, I don't know, we'll say 5. I would give it a 6.
I think I'm gonna come right in there with you. I think before you said that, I was thinking as a novelty thing for me, I think I would probably pick that over ketchup right now. But I think in the long run, I might even put that on a level playing field with ketchup. But I think that just from flavor, and I do like a heat. I do like a little bit of the heat slap.
It seemed awfully mild to me when it came to the heat.
Yeah, it's not
oh,
that.
sure,
it's
yeah.
not that spicy.
Yeah, right.
But I think I'm gonna go in with a 6 too. TG, you were saying you were more of a fan of this Sweet Baby Ray's. So let's do a
Most
little
definitely.
reverse now.
Yeah.
And why don't you start us off with that?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, it hit everything. I'm a big sucker for Arby's horseradish sauce. So you hit me with the spice of the horseradish. So, I cultivate
Now, did you
my
think
own
this was
horseradish.
more or less horseradish than the horsey sauce? Because I actually think the horsey sauce has more horseradish.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say.
Because I agree too. I am a big fan of the horsey sauce, but I like a little bit of that Arby's sauce on there too to kind of like tone it down a little bit because
Balance it out and add complexity.
Yeah, well, okay,
E.
piece of shit. This is why we call him piece
You're
of
not
shit.
that complex, E.
He's wearing a wife beater right now. In case we're clear about that. But he's quite the poet. He's quite the.
He's a bard, if you will.
Yeah, he's a bard of the food.
I-
He's a culinary poet.
There we go.
So-
I'll take that compliment.
So what are you saying? What was your rating for this?
Oh, for me, I
KG?
mean, I love it. I like Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce is also very good.
Yep.
That's the first time I've had this secret sauce. I wasn't expecting the horseradish without reading the label. That's not
Mhm.
would have been my initial
Mhm.
estimation of it, but I was certainly glad when the horseradish
for
showed
it.
up to the party. Yeah, I mean, home run for me, grand slam, 9.5.
Wow.
Sign me up.
9.5.
Yeah, order me a whole case
Ooh.
of it. Yeah, we're doing it.
Now, without thinking about this for the next half hour, could you think of a 10?
Oh, the only thing that I think would probably be closer, and this is a little shameless self-promotion for you, is the horseradish that I grow in my backyard that I do
Very
up.
good.
Maybe with some mayonnaise or some sour
Some
cream.
sour cream. I will when that hits. That hits.
Yeah,
I will say.
and that'll really bite you.
Fresh horseradish.
Yeah, so that would probably or my mama does it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't that cute? But yeah, so that would absolutely bottom line be my 10. That's a very, very, very close second.
And that's interesting because I do think your fresh horseradish tastes better. I don't know, almost less zingy and less spicy, maybe.
E, what do you think about this?
The sauce.
The sauce.
The sauce, the Sweet Baby Ray's secret sauce. I think in its, you paired with a roast beef sandwich, I would take it over Arby's horsey sauce
All right.
any day. The right meal, the right food you pair it with, I'd be, out of the park. I'd give it an 8.5 for that fruit, for that particular.
All right.
It's good. I think it's just really creamy horseradish sauce, and there's supposedly some other spices in there. It says and spice on an onion ring. That's got to be delicious.
Did you taste the xanthan gum that we previously mentioned?
I was not able to isolate that flavor out with
Did
my
not
tongue.
isolate.
Yeah. We were counting on you for the
I know.
xanthan gum.
I'm going to say there is one thing to be said about over the Arby's horsey sauce. I do like orange as a color for sauces. That's a
Yeah.
pleasing color for a soft pale orange. I will say there's a lot to be said about that.
It occurs in nature all the time.
Right. Yeah, all the best nature sauces are orange. Like maple syrup. It's kind of an orangey sauce. I think I would come in for this. I'm a little torn. I think I'm going to come in probably somewhere in the realm of like a 7.5.
Oh,
I do wish there was a little bit more flavor to it in some direction. I don't know exactly what that would be.
yeah, that's fair.
To me, I almost prefer a little bit more of a horseradish kick.
No doubt.
And I think if you put a little more of the horseradish kick in there, you can kind of throw in some other flavors to kind of like you were saying, boost up the complexity a little bit. But I think if you were able to put in too many other flavors as is, I think you'd be overpowering the horseradish, which is kind of the star in the show for this particular sauce. So, but in general, I mean, this was a core favorite of mine, which is why we had it on to begin with, because I put this on all kinds of stuff,
No question.
from the get-go. So I definitely am a fan of it, but I think 7.5 is pretty fair.
I think if I bought a bottle of either of these at the grocery store, I would probably have the French fry sauce in my pantry for the better part of 3-4 years, and I'd pitch it. I would use it.
And probably once you pitched it, you would take it out of your trash.
you would
put
come
it in
out and
his
grab
fridge.
it, put it on some French fries.
There's no way these sauces would last very long in my pantry, either of them.
All right. Well, I think that's going to conclude our initial assessment of these two sauces here. Make sure to check us out next week.
Wow, hey, what a show. Don't forget to drop us a line. Our email is saucespoken@gmail.com. Why don't you stop on by on Twitter? We're at Sauce Spoken. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a recommendation or a request. We'd be happy to hear from you. And finally, on Instagram, we take goofy pictures every once in a while. We like to throw them on there. That's going to be Sauce Spoken Official. Please share us with your family and friends. Give us a review, a subscription. It would be an honor. Or just a little note down there at the bottom. Just let us know how we're doing. That would be terrific. We are Sauce Spoken. Once again, really glad to have you here tonight. Thanks for listening.